When Heartless Act was first printed, it was an absolute banger of a card. I mean, you were killing Lurus and reasonably every other companion that was printed at the time. You were killing Scoot Swarms. It was an absolute lifesaver. So while I am not one to doom post about the state of Standard compared to past standards, the fact that Heartless Act being reprinted into Avatar has not moved the needle for black removal even in the slightest is really starting to get me there. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this. First and foremost being the fact that Heartless Act has been printed into the same standard as Bitter Triumph, probably the best Doomblade upgrade that's ever been printed and ever will be until WotC finally cracks and we just get a straight up 2-mana murder. But also there is a fundamental element of the way that WotC designs standard, generally competitive playable creatures has shifted a bit more since even just Ikoria. While we are still getting good, efficient creatures that come into play and do the thing without needing to upgrade themselves somehow, Quantum Riddler is in standard absolutely ruining people right now. Designing a creature that uses +1/+1 counters to grow its own strength and therefore becomes more powerful the longer you leave it untouched is actually a really healthy and interactive way of making powerful cards. Optimistic Scavenger is an inherently risky card to play. Putting it down on turn 1, if you're on the play, can result in it immediately dying to basically any piece of removal ever printed, but then you can also play it alongside a threat, put all of the +1/+1 counters onto the other creature, like you're playing a discount Luminarch Aspirant, and force your opponent to choose whether they're going to spend their targeted removal on the engine or the threat. A prospect that may feel frustrating and terrifying to people imagining themselves as the control player in that situation, but I really promise you is a better play pattern than the alternative. Heartless Act removing a Badgermole Cub or a Paw Patch Recruit, but only actually really dealing with about half of the card, is part of the power of those cards. Threats, especially threats in mid-range decks, are supposed to be resilient, especially to single target removal, and they're supposed to force single target removal to make deck building choices about what kind of conditions they're working around. Again, Bitter Triumph existing fundamentally undercuts all of this because not only does it cost 3 life or a card you might want to discard so you can Superior Spider-Man it back anyway, it also hits Planeswalkers. We love a card that's all upsides. Like and subscribe. So yes, Heartless Act is not terribly good in standard. It only removes an Ouroboros if you catch it right in that end of main phase before it starts putting +1/+1 counters on itself. It might be good for removing people's commanders, but if you're playing single target removal in Commander, you're already playing a loser's game. Will it see play when Bitter Triumph rotates? Who knows? Honestly, there's a lot of time and space for WotC to print something better and have Heartless Act not even be in the conversation by the time that rolls around. But that said, Shoot the Sheriff can't remove stun counters from your unstoppable slasher at the end of my opponent's turn and surprise them by swinging for lethal.